But then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up.
ये खाओ का ना उश खाओ गिल्लेगा तुम्ही हैं खाओ गिल्लेगा
tasty.
Alrighty, so for this recipe you need icing sugar, dairy milk, chocolate chips, flour, plain flour will do, more chocolate chips, and more chocolates. Sharp knife, this will do. So here I'm cutting all the chocolates and dicing them into little pieces and then pouring them down in a bowl, which I'm gonna melt in a microwave. There's the chocolate. It's melted and completely dissolved. Stirring is important. I haven't stirred it, so I've got little chunks left, but those chunks are gonna be really helpful. Next, take another bowl and you need to melt your butter. So here's your butter, and then put him in the microwave less than 1 minute. 30 seconds will do it. Alrighty, once you've mixed the molten chocolate and the butter, you should get a smooth and silky consistency, and it should appear as silky as possible. Next up, you gotta put some eggs and some sugar into the mixture. So I'm not a professional, but I'm always looking at for my consistency. As long as my consistency is alright, and as long as it is smooth and buttery, I don't really focus on how many eggs I'm using. So for probably a normal sized egg, I've chosen 4 eggs, but then again, I needed 2 more eggs later on. Once I added the flour, it started getting too thick, and you don't want to get your cakes too thick. Once you get too thick, it starts to get clogged up once it's done, and it's gonna be so dry. So you don't want to get a dry cake at all. You want it moist and smooth. So once you've done mixing the eggs all together, you need to put sugar. So depending on the type of sugar you're gonna take, the consistency is gonna be different. So if you want really good texture in your cake, you might want to use granulated sugar or icing sugar. And if that's not the case, you can also make your own icing sugar at home by breaking down the normal sugar. Okay, the second last step before you add the flour into the mixture is to add really rich cocoa powder. So depending on the type of cocoa powder, there are like 2 types, I think. So one is the dark one, which is a bit more expensive, and then there is the regular one. So the regular one is gonna give you a slightly less colorful brownie, but if you really want that rich color, you need to add the more expensive one and the more darker one. Okay, once you've done mixing all the cocoa powder to the mixture, you will see once you're adding the flour, your mixture will start to get clogged up, but you don't have to fear. You don't have to use your hand mixer. You just get your get a spoon or maybe a whisker, like a hand whisker, or any sort of thing that can allow you to swivel it around by your hand. Better option is using a spatula. So if you have a spatula, it would have been great. Mate, this step is gonna make or break your cake. If you really want that fudge texture, when you bite into your brownie, you want that chocolatey feeling. And that's why you need chocolate chips. Just put chocolate chips and your cake is gonna be blessed. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna put a whole bag of chocolate chips in there before mixing it up. And also I'm gonna put it after I've done mixing it up. Once I put it into the cake holder, I put another packet of chocolate chips on top and make it completely filled up with chocolate. Okay, so before you put your cakes, you know that the important step is using parchment paper and oil or butter and putting it into the bowl and covering it up completely so that you're not gonna stick your cake into the pan, or into the bowl. But in my case, I didn't have parchment papers, but I did have butter, but I didn't have anything to put the butter in, so I just went in for a spoon. Going on a budget, mate. Okay, in order to put the cake mixture into your bowl, you can always use your hand spatula or something. That is completely fine for you. In my case, I tried to put it in using a hand mixer. The hand mixing thingy into the bowl, but it didn't really work. It was clogged in, so yeah, I'd rather use spoon for that. Now for the final step, the moment you've been waiting for the whole video. So I'm taking a huge bowl. I got this string thing from my microwave when I bought it. So you just want your cake bowl to be a bit higher than the actual outside bigger bowl. So you want your cake to be a bit uplifted inside the bigger bowl. So anything metal that can lift it up, but it's not gonna block out the heat, should do it. Do not put any kind of plastic, because it is gonna get really hot inside of it. Put in your cake, chuck it in, and then get the lid to close up completely, and also try to put something heavier on top of the lid so that the lid is completely sealed up. Okay, after an entire day or two of wait, your cake is finally prepared. Just kidding, mate. You don't need 2 days or 1 day at all. You just need 45 minutes max. It should do it.
But then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up. We had never met before that time, but I just knew that we'd end up. You took it, took away my loneliness. Oh, I know it, I know it. You're making me wholehearted. Together is always better. I don't want to be parted. You're making me wholehearted. You're making me whole.
As always, give this video a thumbs up, give your mate a sub, show your love, and keep watching and binging during this pandemic. Stay at home, stay safe, and enjoy watching Infamous Snapper. Skadoosh!
Eh? Too good.
Is it?
Good. Oh, very good. Tasty.